In setting up the big room is get the tape out of the facilities office, the cabinet to the right as you walk in the door there. We're going to stretch that 100-foot tape out, not 100 feet, but we're going to start here at the top. You'll see that there's a little arrow drawn with a pen mark here on the top. That corresponds with like an M on the grate of the speaker there. We're going to put the tape up against that. We're going to take a chair from the opposite side of the room and set the back two legs on that tape just to hold it in place. We're going to stretch it out all the way down till it comes to the corner of the camera stand here in the back. That's going to give us a nice visual line up the aisle there. So we're going to start putting the first chair with the back legs at 9 feet 8 inches. And we'll show you that here on the tape. 9 feet 8 inches. And then we're going to go every 3 feet. We're going to do every 3 feet back, so we've got it at 12/8, 15/8, 18/8, and so forth, all the way back to the camera spot there. Sometimes these chairs are going to be out further than you want. The easiest way to move a row of chairs is just to stick your foot in there and use your calf just to push the chairs over so you have the space that you need. Once if I get those lined up, I usually try to get like 3 chairs in just lined up to that space roughly. Kind of just keep going up and down the rows here and just get the first 3 roughly set. And that kind of gets you started for going down.
What part of the chair do you eyeball to make sure it's straight?
I'm lining up the back of these feet down here at the bottom. And then as I go, this is just a trick of the trade, because I'm going to see how far. I've got a size 9 shoe, probably a size 10 or so is perfect, maybe 10.5. But I get an idea of what that gap distance is, so that way when I'm going down the row here, when I get to this point, I could look and say, oh, that one's probably not quite right, so I'm going to line it up. That's just a quick rule of thumb. It's very similar. There's a mark on here that's got a little arrow at the top. That's going to tell you where to set your tape. It's about a foot or so off from that speaker. You're going to put the chair on it to hold it down, and you're going to stretch it out to the inside of the door frame at the back of the room back there. Okay, again, the back leg of the first row is going to be at 9 feet 8 inches off the front there. 9 feet 8 inches. And we're going to go 3 feet all the way down, the same thing. So you're going to be at 12 feet 8 inches, 15 8 inches, 18 8 inches, and so forth down the line. Now to get your first row set, if you take a look here, pull it here looking that way. If you take this edge here, and as you come across, you're basically lining up at this corner here of these doors on both sides. So you can stand back and look at that row to see if it's straight or not. You can also measure, go about to the outside of the speaker and measure that distance. First, the distance that you've already measured here, and that'll give you another check if you want that. How we set up the side sections of the auditorium. First thing we want to do is make sure these stairs are in the right position. There's from the speaker here over to the edge of the stairs here is 2 feet. There's a little line on the stage, top of the stage here. You probably can't see it very well in this light, but that's there. And secondly, we're going to go from this left-hand corner of the stage, kind of looking back at the corner just to the right of the door. In the back, and that's going to be kind of the line that we're trying to line up. So if you look back just to the right of the door there, that corner, that's what we're trying to line up. One of the tricks that you can do is make sure you put put all these straps on all the way down. You can kind of see how this one kind of bows out a little bit. and it gives you a chance to quickly get a visual of where you're off on it a little bit. So I can kind of see that, particularly like right here, this one here, this has to be pushed in a little bit. If you just step in and use your leg there, you can kind of push things in a little bit. Try to get your straps relatively straight. And those are looking pretty good. And then you can just line up the chairs with that strap. Just about an inch or so inside of that. And with that, you pretty much have your sides there. And one more. Once you get past the front of those straps, you got to adjust a little bit. So that gets the kind of your basic line pretty straight that way. The other way that you can do it again is similar to how we did the middle. You can take your tape, set it here at this corner, and then stretch it down. That will give you the your 3 feet measurement. So just throw a chair. Oops. Can you use that? Just set a chair on it to hold it in place, and then stretch it back. Okay, so once you have that in place, you can see it comes to about what looks like about 7 feet 10 inches where it starts here, where your back of your row is. So you just kind of line those up, each of them to that 10-inch mark on the back. So every 3 feet. And you do that all the way down. Now, when you come to the 6th row, this is the easiest one to get your angle lined up right. If you come here and stand between the 6th and 7th rows right here, just kind of stand here in the chair. And if you look, you want to kind of, those seats lined up with that corner of that wall there. And these are pretty straight. They're back a little bit, but you just move these up a little. It should be just about lined up. So again, it kind of lines up with the corner of that wall over there, the backs of those chairs there. So once you have that, then you can just go with the rest of them. You've already got your 3 feet marked here on the floor. Just start lining them up. And then you can tweak it later just to get it, exactly lined up how you want it. But that should generally do it. So seeing how to set up the center sections and how to set up the left side, the right side works the same way. You go to the speaker, the stairs should be 2 feet off the speaker up in the front. You're going to take the inside or the outside edge of the stairs and line it up with the corner by the door down there. Same method on this side. The main difference when you're setting up the 2 sides is that the right side has a few more chairs than the other side. The way it starts, both sides start with a wheelchair spot and a companion and 5 other chairs, so a total of 6 chairs plus a wheelchair spot in the first row, which makes 7 spaces. Then it goes 8, 9, 10, and on this side you have 7 rows of 10 chairs before you start reducing back 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 on this side. On the other side, on the left side, you only have 6 rows when you get to the 10 chairs before it starts reducing back to the back of the auditorium. A couple quick tips again. If you've got your row of chairs that aren't quite lined up right and you need to move them, the easiest way is just kind of step under a little and use like the side of your leg and just kind of push the chairs. The whole row pretty much goes that way, so it gives you a way to do that. You can take a small tape measure like this from time to time and just kind of set it at by 36 inches. Put that at the back of the chair, and that should come right to the back of the chair in front of it. So you can do that periodically, checking down the road just to make sure you're keeping your 3 foot spacing there. The rows, again, in the center section start with 9 chairs. They go from 9 till 18 chairs. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. After the 18th row, the row with 18 chairs, that's when you start the aisle in the center of those sections in the center. The center aisle section of those back ones all have 9 chairs in it, and then it goes out from there after the aisle. So that's pretty much setting the chairs up.
If you have any ideas.
Just trying to keep it as straight as you can, looking across your rows, as well as keeping that 3 feet spacing on it.